by Lakeshore, the Marylin Bell Park, surrounded by water and trees and grass and, beautiful birds. I have been singing my whole life in the shower. And even when I was born, I was crying a lot. I call it singing. I don't call it crying. I just always knew that I loved music, something about it. But my parents weren't really for it. African parents sometimes focus on your books, focus on your books. So I didn't really focus on it. I was writing, but just for fun. And I didn't think I had the greatest voice. So I didn't really focus on that. One of my uncles used to even tell my parents, but they didn't really listen. But as soon as I graduated university and got my degree, I was dating someone and he kept pushing me to do music. So for my birthday, he decided to pay for me to do 10 studio sessions. And that was the beginning of my first EP. And something about me, I'm an Aries. And once I start something, I am not going to stop. I have to finish it.
Ain't said I ain't a mess, but I'm still worthy of the best love, yes, love. Didn't ask for no one perfect, just somebody I could build with, yeah. Someone I could dream with, someone sent for me, someone I would keep, yeah. Love me with no strings, know that I'm deserving, yeah. That love, the one that feels good to your soul, the one I used to see on them shows. That love, the one that feels like you're at home, the one that got you sleeping on the phone. That love.
I was born in Nigeria. I came to Canada when I was 7. My dad has been here most of his, from his 20s. So it was just my dad and I here in Canada for like about a year. Then I went to New Jersey. I went to school there, lived there with my aunt and my uncles. And then I came back to Canada when my mom and my siblings came to Canada. My parents, honestly, although they weren't very supportive of my music before, they are my biggest fans now. Like, if I release something, I don't even have to ask them to go listen to it. By the time I get home, they're already telling me what they like about it, what they don't like, and this and that. Okay, they never say they don't like. If they don't like a song, example, Dick Game, they just won't speak on it. It didn't exist. They never heard the song. My parents are honestly the reason why I even wrote one of my songs, Love and Be Loved. Like, I see the love they have, the commitment they have to each other, and I kind of really admire it. And they're even the cover art for that song. I just admire the way they show love to each other. And I think that's why I'm like a hopeless romantic, because I believe it does exist. I'm not saying that they're perfect, but, they hold each other down, and I love and I respect that.
Don't it feel good? Love and be loved. I know I'm complicated. There ain't a perfect lady, but you love me regardless of it.
I was writing song lyrics. I was writing storybooks. I didn't like reading. I like reading now, but I didn't like reading back then. But I loved writing storybooks. I loved writing lyrics, poetry. My parents got called into the school one time because I wrote a book about this woman who was being abused by her husband at home. The daughter, the child, ended up locking them up in a room with a Bible and made them like read that Bible, and that's how they were able to survive that marriage. Nollywood. This is the product of Nollywood, I promise you. But the teacher honestly called my parents in because they thought it was the story of my life. They thought it was what was going on in my house. But that just shows how my writing skill was at that age. And that was around like grade 6, grade 7, around there somewhere. And that's what I was writing about. But I didn't think I could sing because I would like do talent shows and I never got chosen. So I'm like, oh, I can't sing. And when you're a child and you like don't get chosen for things like that, sometimes you take it to heart. You don't realize like, okay, that some other people could be better than you doesn't mean you're not good, or everybody's ear is different. Everyone likes things differently, you know? But it was my friends who kept pushing me that made me realize, okay, you know, I may not have that voice, but I have my voice. And at the end of the day, I have my own style. And with writing, I was just writing so much like lyrics, and I'd always just be singing it to my friends, and they were like, Angie, you're actually really good. You're really good. So I just kept pushing on the writing, and my goal was to be a songwriter, not even a singer, but I didn't know how to like navigate the industry. So I'm like, okay, let me just sing my own songs. I don't have to wait for someone else to sing it to get it out there. Let me just sing my own songs, and maybe one day I'll become just a writer. I don't know.
We were just writing, just writing, yeah, writing, with no destination, writing, writing, just writing, with no destination, we just stay on the road.
Oh my gosh, I am emotional as hell. I really do overthink a lot. I'm in my feelings a lot. But I think that a lot of artists are. That's how we create, right? We see things in intense ways. So I'm very emotional. I feel so bad for whoever is gonna marry me. But he'll be okay, because at the end of the day, I'm an amazing person too. But yeah, I do have a lot of emotions, and yeah, I feel things really deeply. But I'm really working on it. I'm working on not always having to overthink everything, not always having to act on my emotions. You know, sometimes I just act on it without actually sitting and reflecting, like, should I act on this right now? Like, my music is literally for me to listen to balance myself. And it helps. Honestly, when I listen to it, sometimes I'm like, oh, that's why I was feeling that way. That's what this was. Oh, that makes so much sense. And I kind of learn about myself through it. Oh, I'm not scared to be vulnerable, but it's also scary to just let your walls down and just be vulnerable. I feel like I'm not scared to be vulnerable through my music, but when I have to actually speak on how I'm feeling, like just have a conversation, I have a really hard time, because I could be a really nice person, and when you're a really nice person, people take advantage of you and take you for granted. So sometimes it's scary for me to let people see that I am that sweet and that kind, because now I've just let them know they could do what they want. And I don't like people knowing that about me and feeling like I will always forgive. So I tend to have this wall that doesn't show that that's the type of person I am. But I feel like through my music, it's obvious. It's obvious that the type of person I am, and I can't really hide that. And you can't really hide who you are. You can try, but people can see it. So we're gonna go to Kensington Market next.
Taking a have fun. Can we make the time stop? Let's get every second. I've been in my mind a lot. Something real, that's all I want. 'Cause I just wanna love somebody's son, somebody's son, somebody. And I just wanna give to somebody's son, somebody's son, somebody who gives me butterflies when they're around. Hope that ain't too much to ask. Who gives a different high when they're around?
What kind of lover am I? I can be very in your face, like, hug me, kiss me, touch me. I can be very, very annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. But at the same time, I like my freedom and my independence. So when I feel like I don't have that, it starts feeling like a strain. But I love love. Like, I think it's kind of obvious. but I really love the idea of love. I kind of put that person first when I really love somebody. My song Yourself is about finding love in yourself and stop worrying about, will I find love? Will I not find love? Will I get married one day? Will I not get married? It's about being okay with being with yourself, because only true being with yourself and understanding and enjoying your own company, that's the only way you would actually like be with someone without fear. You know, you're with that person because you genuinely care and love that person, not because you don't want to be alone, you know. And loving yourself was me reminding myself that, hey, I know you want kids, you want 4 kids and a husband, but you got to make sure you have yourself right first too, right? You can't come and put all of your burden on somebody else. Like, make sure you're okay, and make sure you're okay with being by yourself if you never end up getting that dream families that you want, you know? It was me kind of coming to terms with the fact that if it doesn't happen, I have to be okay.
You're nothing but a waste man. The reasons why I left you are valid. For nights like this, I miss you. I want you give you. It's hard to say I love you, 'cause I know that I shouldn't want you. Nights like this, I miss you. I want you.
Like, when I say talk about love, I'm not just talking about the feeling of love. I also mean in the sense of like the reciprocal energy, the building together, like the give and take. Like, there's just so much that is so hard to do by yourself on earth. Like, even to buy a house, you know how hard it is to buy a house by yourself? Like, you need a partner. Like, there's just so many things that is so much easier with a partner, and it's like someone that is your friend, because love will not always be there every moment, every second of the relationship. Sometimes you hate each other, but if you guys have a friendship, it's like when you can't stand them, you still have a friend in them, you know? Not saying that no one can do it without a partner. You can do it without a partner. It just makes it easier if it's the right partner. Let me give an example that's not a true example. I'm with a partner who knows I love music, and the partner tells me, no, you got to get rid of music. And it takes me a long time to do it, and the partner steps out because I'm not letting go of music. And then because I don't want to lose my partner, I decide to let go of music. And after letting go of music, my partner is still stepping out. I think that is the most hurtful thing I ever experienced in love. Music is not the true thing, but it was something.
You forget yourself when you're in love?
Yes, sometimes I do, but you know, I always find it back. Sometimes when someone is leaving, emotions just take over me and I'm not thinking. It's just on fix it, rather than, is this something that should be fixed, or is this something I should let go of? So yeah, I can lose myself in those moments. But when things are like good, no, I don't really lose myself. I'm expecting someone that feels like home, someone that's willing to always try with me, and someone that I'm always willing to try with. Someone that understands that I'm not perfect, but constantly loves me for me, and vice versa. I expect love to be peaceful and to be home.
Used to love, even though never felt this way before. Catch my phone, stay on board. I can't do this on my own. Even though never felt this way before. Catch my phone, stay on board. I can't do this on my own. Too far gone, deep enough. Never felt this way before. Catch my phone.
So right now we're at my favorite studio, Top Track Studio, with my engineer Nate. And yeah, this is where most of the magic happens, basically. So normally when I'm making my music, I'm making it in my car as I'm driving, because I find myself on the road a lot. After I've created a sound, a song that I like, then I come here with Nate and I pretty much record till I feel like it's how I want it. I don't always give myself a topic.
I'm just in my car, I listen to a beat, and if I really vibe with the beat, I just let whatever comes out of my mouth just come out. So I freestyle. I freestyle while I'm driving, and if a melody sticks, then I build on that melody and go to the next part of the song. If there's a melody that I know I'm gonna forget, I just quickly voice note myself as I'm driving. And I just put it together in that way. And most of the time I find after I wrote the song, oh, this is what I was talking about. I grew up on Kelly Clarkson, Avril Lavigne. I grew up listening to all of that type of music. It was not until like grade 9, 10 that I started actually hearing R&B. Like, not saying that I never heard R&B before. Like, I heard the R&B, like I'd listened to it. But in my household, my parents only listened to gospel, African gospel or American gospel, especially Kirk Franklin, Mary Mary. So when I got to grade 9, grade 10, I started hearing more R&B, listening to 106 in Parks more. And then I discovered Lauryn Hill. And ooh, that changed my life. I resonated with Lauryn Hill so much. I don't know why, but after Lauryn Hill, then I started listening to Erykah Badu, India Arie, Jill Scott. I started listening to all of them after I discovered Lauryn, and that was just kind of the area I wanted to go into. And I was writing music before I discovered them, and for some reason my music was still kind of in line with them. Even though I wasn't listening to them, my music was never pop. It was still very soul. Lauryn is always true to herself. It's evident in her sound. It's evident in what she talks about. And it's all about music to her. It's not about the fame or what people want. She literally does it because she loves it. And she's telling stories. She's speaking her truth in her music. And I think that's what resonated with me the most. She wasn't trying too hard. She was just being herself. I aspire to be that. And I think that's why I saw what I wanted in her. I am happy with where I am right now and what I'm doing. All of this is to just put something out there for other people to resonate with, and I feel like I'm already doing that. There's not much more left, you know? It's just to find more, to just touch more people. I want peace in my home. I want peace in my heart and my soul. I want peace in knowing that the people around me are not malicious towards me. Like, I just want all around peace. I just want to be at peace with myself and just feel safe.